This is the story of a tool belt company that broke every rule of modern manufacturing and won. While every major tool brand you can think of shipped production to China, one small operation in Sonoma County, California, kept cutting, stitching, and riveting leather by hand. Their name is Occidental Leather Tool Belts, and they've been doing this since 1980. Walk into any Home Depot today and pick up a tool bag. Flip it over and read the tag. Made in China, made in Taiwan, made in Vietnam. Doesn't matter if it says Husky, CLC, or Craftsman on the front. The vast majority of tool storage sold in big box stores comes from overseas factories, many of them pumping out bags for $2.95 a unit wholesale. That's not an exaggeration. Chinese tool bag manufacturers openly advertise wholesale prices between $3 and $12 per bag. They handle OEM work for nearly 200 global clients, including names like Bosch, Hilti, Cobalt, and Craftsman. That's the world we live in now. And then there's Occidental Leather, selling a 5-bag Pro Carpenter assembly for $380. Same country, same industry, completely different philosophy. So how did we get here? And why does Occidental still exist when the economic forces that killed American manufacturing should have buried them decades ago? Let's go back to 1979. A building contractor named Darryl Thurner was working jobs in Occidental, California, a tiny village in Sonoma County. He had a problem that every career carpenter understood. He kept dropping tools. The tool bags available at the time were generic, poorly organized, and clearly not designed by anyone who'd ever spent a full day on a job site. So founder Darryl Thurner did what builders do. He solved the problem himself. He sketched out a design for a hand-specific leather tool bag, one that organized everyday carpentry gear in a way that actually made sense when you were 20 feet up on a ladder. He took that design to a local saddle maker and got the leather worker to produce his first prototype. Word spread fast on job sites. Fellow carpenters wanted their own. The bags, as one account put it, caught on like wildfire. But the saddle maker wasn't interested in becoming a tool bag manufacturer. So Thurner taught himself how to sew leather, learning from local artisans, and started building bags by hand in a barn on his ranch west of Occidental. That saddle maker's influence never fully left the product, by the way. To this day, the back of Occidental's Buscadero model is lined with fleece to prevent chafing, a detail adapted directly from horseback riding. The DNA of that original saddle shop is still in every bag they make. The company was formally incorporated in 1980, co-founded with the late Lynn Davis, and set up shop in Santa Rosa. For the next 11 years, they built the business from that base. In 2003, Thurner purchased a former lumber yard in the village of Groton and spent 4 months transforming it from a forgotten junkyard into a manufacturing compound. Then in 2019, they moved into a 29,000 square foot facility back in Santa Rosa, a 50% expansion in space. Through all of that growth, across 4 decades and multiple locations, one thing never changed. Every single product gets made in Sonoma County, California, 100%, no exceptions. And we're not just talking final assembly here. The supply chain is American too. Bag leather comes from Law Tanning Company in Milwaukee, once the largest leather supplier in the world. Belt leather comes from Wickett and Craig in Curwensville, Pennsylvania. Vegetable tanned to Occidental's exact specifications. Not too soft, not too firm. Michael Malley, the vice president of operations, calls it the Goldilocks effect. The nylon gets sourced from a dealer in Southern California, manufactured at an East Coast mill. The thread, the hardware, the copper rivets, all American. The production itself runs on old machines. Malley has said it outright. When it comes to stitchers, we love the old machines. We don't have any computerized sewing machines. Nobody uses the materials we use. We want the bags to last 20 years. And they do. One customer, Scott Herling, wore his Occidental bags for 26 years, before even considering what might come next. His verdict: he'll never wear another brand. Another customer sent in a 27-year-old Buscadero set from Victoria, British Columbia, for repair. The company stitched it up and sent it back, because Occidental doesn't just offer a 2-year warranty against defects. They'll repair leather tool bags, stitching, and rivets for life. Now here's where this story gets interesting from a business perspective. In September 2018, Darryl Thurner sold Occidental Leather to U.S. Tape Company, a firm founded in 1876 that makes professional-grade tape measures and marking tools. There were plenty of suitors. Big international companies came knocking. But Thurner was selective. He sold to U.S. Tape because of a promise that President Peter Rosenquist made to him. Never take this business overseas. Carry the quality and characteristics that Occidental is known for into the future. That promise has held. Since the acquisition, the company has hired 20% more production workers. They expanded into that larger facility. They've launched new product lines, including work boots and their Performance Hybrid series. 58 full-time employees, 51 of them skilled production workers, build roughly 180 individual products. Many of those employees have been with the company for more than 20 years. Sales manager Susan Alberts put it simply: it was a small, family-owned company for 38 years. Most employees have been here for 20 years. We're one of the rarities, 20-year employees making 20-year products. That's not a marketing slogan. That's just the math. Meanwhile, American manufacturing as a whole has been in free fall. Since 1979, the year Thurner started sketching tool bags, the United States has lost over 7 million manufacturing jobs. That's a 37% decline from peak employment. Manufacturing's share of GDP has dropped from 27% to 12%. The trend accelerated in the 90s as American companies set up plants in China and transferred production to Chinese contract manufacturers. It was cheaper, it was faster, and for most companies, the quality question was secondary to the margin question. Occidental Leather looked at that equation and said no. 60% of their tool bags sold are heavy-duty top-grain cowhide. 30% are nylon and leather combos. The rest are nylon. The leather bags use 7 to 8 ounce full-grain leather. The belts use 12 to 15 ounce American bridle leather, the same material used for horse reins and harnesses, stitched with heavy-gauge thread and fitted with solid brass buckles and nickel-plated steel rollers. These aren't products you can replicate at $3 wholesale. The result is something Mally compares to Harley-Davidson. We stay up at night and look at Facebook postings and Instagram. We have almost a cult following, like Harley-Davidson. Rosenquist agrees. It is recognized in the industry as one of the premier brands, like Harley-Davidson. Like any cult brand that builds generational loyalty, Occidental has earned its devoted following through consistency and quality. And, like Harley, Occidental doesn't chase the mass market. They don't sell at big box stores. Their distribution runs through quality building suppliers and hardware retailers, small lumber yards, hardware stores, and mega construction suppliers where working professionals buy their gear. They make products for people who use tools for a living, not for weekend DIYers browsing an aisle. While brands like Diamondback, Badger, and Vito Pro Pack have entered the premium tool belt space, Occidental remains the original. Their logo is a musk ox, an animal that survives some of the harshest winters on the planet. They chose it because ox sounds like the first syllable in Occidental, but the symbolism runs deeper than wordplay. This is a company built to endure. 45 years after a frustrated carpenter sketched a better tool bag on a piece of scrap paper, Occidental Leather is still here, still in California, still cutting leather by hand, still employing the same people who were riveting bags before most of their competitors even existed in their current form. In an era when almost everything you strapped to your waist on a job site was assembled 10,000 miles away, Occidental Leather never left. And if the promise holds, they never will.